to take it back to days before rodeo real quick. All the real rangers around here, you know what time it is, so get your section straight right now. Get your section straight right now. Start me, baby, in the back. You said let it go. Yeah.
And like it just felt like we was like literally like in hell, bro. Like it felt like we was in a concert in hell. You couldn't breathe, you couldn't see. Like
I was laying next to some people that had been on the ground for a while. They were trying to get up. Some people were just unconscious.
The concert's still going on. The crowd is compressing.
Hey, I'm over at the medical tent, and there's a lot of people trampled, and they're passed out at the front stage.
Travis Scott.
Yeah.
That was a huge ritual.
But that ritual, I mean, the stage looked like something out of Hieronymus Bosch.
That was a portal.
When Travis, okay, so like I said, an hour before Travis came on, it started to get, I'm thinking, okay. And my group, we were kind of like, it's almost like, it was like a current. I got really close to the front right when Travis came out. And as soon as he came out, it's almost like the people around us, we started just shifting down the side along the edge of the rail, kind of back and over. I kept noticing this circle forming to my right, and I kind of just kept working along it, around it, behind me. And then Drake came out, and that's whenever like, it was really insane. Obviously, it was crazy, I mean, I'm around people, they're yelling, "Stop the show," chant. People were chanting, "Help."
So then eyes all over and hand. And not only that, in the concert, but what happened is very weird. When that chaos started ensuing and people were dying or stampeding, at the same time while he was singing his music, and to Christians, it's satanic music, actually. So think about this, to us Christians when we would see that, is that he got satanic music, and then people are right here at the front, and then all of a sudden, hands come out like this, above over here like that, on the concert, the background, and it was going like this, as if it was receiving it. And then eyes popped out all over from the back screen at the same time looking down on those people.
And that's not even half of it.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
I'll be the first to tell you that the craziest concert I've ever been to in my life is a Travis Scott concert. I've been saying that for years, and to this day it's still the truth. In 2019, my girlfriend and I drove to Nashville, Tennessee, and I'll never forget this, man. Like, I got to this concert, I expected to have a good time because, Travis Scott music is like turn up music. Like, you rage to his music, so to speak. But when I got to this concert, I couldn't have been prepared for what I saw. It had to have costed millions of dollars to prepare that stadium the way, because we're not talking about outside. This was at a stadium, an actual concert. They had designed like as if you were at a festival, right? Like they had a whole roller coaster. Imagine going to a festival or going to a carnival with roller coasters and different rides, but you took that and you placed it inside of a big building. They had designed this dude's concert as if it was a stadium. Like they had a roller coaster. They had a roller coaster all throughout the building with an actual riding machine on the roller coaster that worked. And Travis Scott was standing on this machine while it was moving, doing the concert while performing. And if you've ever been to a Travis Scott concert, if you're familiar with him, Travis Scott encourages his crowd to quote unquote rage. He encourages mosh pits. He encourages people to go crazy. I remember when he came to Arkansas for the first time, which is my home state, and I believe it was Rogers, Arkansas. He was actually arrested. His first and only time here, he got arrested because he was encouraging people to do things in these mosh pits that could only be described as encouraging people to self-injure themselves. Anyways, I'm trying to set the stage to let you all understand what a Travis Scott concert is like. People go there to quote unquote turn up, but they don't understand the reason why Travis Scott does this, because we like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and we think Travis Scott likes to have fun and turn up just like we do. No, we're 22, 23 years old, sometimes younger, 18, 19, 20 years old, coming to turn up because we're young people and we're trying to work our way through life. Yeah, we may believe in God, but we're on our own journey, right? We're young, we want to have fun. Travis Scott is not the same age as you. Travis Scott is a professional performer, which means what? Travis Scott has been trained and has been dealing with things behind the scenes that best prepares him to put you in the position to do things that people don't realize, like soul harvesting. And that's going to lead us into our topic today. Almost 4 years ago in 2021, I believe it was November 5th, 2021, as a lot of us know already, Travis Scott held his Astroworld festival in Houston, Texas, which he's not from Houston, but he's from a city right by Houston, so he considers Houston as his hometown. He held this festival, and there was, they report that 10 people passed away. There wasn't 10 people that passed away. There was far more people that passed away. And I'm going to show you all some videos that I shouldn't say prove, but people that corroborate the fact that there was way more people way more casualties at this festival, and they report that like 300 people was injured, like hundreds of people was rushed to the hospital, but the number was much higher than that. And Travis Scott did this on purpose, and I wouldn't be surprised if this has happened at other Travis Scott concerts in the past. Maybe not as many people, but that being like at least a casualty or two at some of his concerts because of the way or the atmosphere in which he creates at his concerts. He encourages this. But before we get into the clip, I would just encourage you to please hit that like button for me so this video can be pushed to more people such as yourself. And if you want the uncensored version of many of my videos, and if you want additional videos that you cannot find on YouTube, please consider becoming a member of the Patreon. Link will be in the description.
I want to take it back to days before rodeo real quick. All the real rangers around here, you know what time it is, so get your section straight right now. Get your section straight right now. Start me, baby, in the back. You said let it go.
And like it just felt like we was like literally like in hell, bro. Like it felt like we was in a concert in hell. You couldn't breathe, you couldn't see. Like
I was laying next to some people that had been on the ground for a while. They were trying to get up. Some people were just unconscious.
The concert's still going on. The crowd is compressing.
Hey, I'm over at the medical tent, and there's a lot of people trampled, and they're passed out at the front stage.
I see somebody in the tree. Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on. Make some noise for my boy right there, hanging in the tree right there. Make some noise. Everybody put a middle finger up to the sky, because my boy ready to rage. My boy want to rage. Yeah. My boy's want to rage.
Well, they have to stop the show because there's people trampled and they're not breathing.
And something that was important, and the mayor just said it, but I want to hit it again. 9:30, right there. That's when a few people started going down.
There's an ambulance in the crowd. Whoa.
Our people stepped up and immediately went to the producer and told them, hey, people are going down.
he died. I want to see somebody's life.
This show ended
2 hands to the sky.
at 10:10 p.m.
Y'all know what y'all came to do. Chase me. Let's go.
What I need is for people to get things under control at the medical
I
tent.
want to make this mother ground shake. God.
HFD's been advised, and they're pulling people in to come and help, okay? Just take a deep breath and relax. We'll work through this.
The feeling was like, imagine someone coming up behind you and bear hugging you as hard as they possibly can.
That's okay with you real quick.
It was hell on earth. It was hell on
earth. It was horrendous. Me and Medic 1 ran our asses off.
I woke up and nothing could have prepared me for what I saw.
Being in this crowd is literally a life threat. That was apparent.
Stop the show! Stop the show! Stop the show! I love you, Houston!
I just remember bodies everywhere, like limp bodies, people pulling bodies out of the crowd.
I saw 3 people laid out on the ground.
The medics were trying to give them CPR. They was literally turning black and blue.
Let's play it slowly. We need somebody to help him. Somebody passed out right here. Need somebody to help jump in real quick. Yeah, let's get in there. Yeah.
In the VIP section, it was so many bodies laid out.
I'll never forget the look of terror on people's faces. That's the thing that sticks with me the most.
I was flat on my back. I could feel people's shoes on my face, on my throat.
Drake came out, and the pushing got so bad I couldn't breathe.
So many people tug on my jacket. Please help me. I broke my foot. Please help me. I dislocated my shoulder.
Oh, Houston! I need you to keep sending this motherfucker off. From the front to the back. We better make this motherfucker earthquake.
And I had to tell all of them, I will try to come back for you, but people are dead right now.
Took this video after Astrofest 2021.
Travis Scott.
Yeah.
That was a huge ritual.
But that
right
ritual,
there.
I mean, the stage looked like something out of Hieronymus Bosch.
That was a portal.
Because it looked like a devil's mouth or something, and people were so that wasn't just a coincidence. Because they tried to poo-poo all the criticism, and they said no, it was just provocative imagery. But
No, the people that people like me that we come from that, we knew that was a whole ritual right there, because I believe he got the power through Satanism and through this type of things. So for him to go to the next level, you have to do something. You have to do some sort of sacrifice. That was a huge thing right there that he did. The platform was a portal. The things, the sounds that they were playing when that was happening, they are really low sounds that open in the spiritual realm portals of death and portals for these demons to enter. So what was happening there, it was a sacrifice, a human sacrifice.
Because people died at this concert.
No, lots of people. People that don't know anything about the spiritual realm, they don't believe in God, in nothing, they said, we felt that something was putting our soul out of us. They felt that there was a weird atmosphere. So it's really interesting that even people that are not spiritual, they were saying it felt like something was pulling us out. We felt suffocated. We couldn't breathe. And I'm like, because you were part of a ritual.
And it doesn't help that either the same day as this festival or like the day after this festival, Travis Scott released a song called The Escape Plan or Escape Plan. And in this song, he literally said that people are, in so many words, losing their lives over his chain. And yes, you would say, well, that's about jewelry and that's people trying to steal his jewelry. No. How many instances or situations have you heard about somebody trying to steal Travis Scott's jewelry? I believe that this was a reference, and I may be reaching here and I'm okay with people believing that, but I just found it very coincidental that he released a song the same day that's called Escape Plan at a concert where people were not allowed to escape, where he's referencing people losing their life. And something else we got to point out about this concert, there was a security guard that worked at the concert that also came out and had a few things to share about the festival.
They cut off the fact that I said this was before Travis came out. I had to help like 100 people. People changing colors, hyperventilating, and they stuck. And that wasn't later on once he got to perform, and that was before he got to perform. Because people on the ground receiving medical attention, people still screaming help. Drake nor Travis heard it. Drake nor Travis seen it. But they say over 200 and some injuries, 300 and some injuries. They only had 13 casualties. Don't know how true that is, but if you ask me, they hid a lot of that happened at that show.
Now, I told y'all at the beginning that I've been to a Travis Scott concert. It's the craziest concert I've ever been to in my life, and that says something because I've been to quite a few concerts in my life But there's nothing like a Travis Scott concert, bro. Not just from people turning up and losing their minds, doing drugs in the crowd to encourage their behavior, but it's the energy, right? It's the spiritual energy. It's the frequencies that comes from Travis Scott's music as well. But take everything I just said and then couple that with the fact that this festival area was supposedly created to hold maybe around 10 to 15,000 people. They said it was much larger, but really when you look at the concert or the festival area, you would understand that it costs maybe about, it would be able to hold maybe 10 or 15,000 people, give or take. That was reportedly or supposedly about 50,000 people at this concert, y'all. 50,000. 50,000. So imagine the lack of room that you have to move around. Imagine the lack of air that you have to breathe. Imagine how hot it was. Imagine how sweaty it was. This was by design.
So then, eyes all over and hand. And not only that, in the concert, what happened is very weird. When that chaos started ensuing and people were dying or stampeding, at the same time while he was singing his music, and to Christians, it's satanic music, actually. So think about this, to us Christians when we would see that, is that he got satanic music, and then people are dying right here at the front, and then all of a sudden, hands come out like this, above over here like that, on the concert, the background, and it was going like this, as if it was receiving it. And then eyes popped out all over from the back screen at the same time looking down on those people. Now, if you were in there and you experienced that, you would freak out. You would think that would be demonic, right? Here's another thing. So it showed a fiery, hellish mountain in the background. So it's like a fiery, hellish mountain in the background. And then at the same time, it showed a big, huge thing like a portal opening up, okay? So it's not this head or face, okay? This was like probably at the front gate or something, or one of the entrances. In the concert platform, though, it was the inverted cross, and then it was like a portal or something spiral with that fiery mountain in the background. Now, that's pretty strange. And then not only that, it seemed like a portal, but what seemed even more so is because a sign popped out in that portal that says, "See ya on the other side." That's why there's this viral thing going around if you were in there and the people are saying, this was all planned, like this was a human sacrifice. Now, I'm not going to go that far, okay, because I'm trying to stick to the critics right here. Let's say this is all artistic depiction. But it doesn't change the fact you see way too many symbols here that's undoubtedly to Christians, it's satanic. All right, see you on the other side. But not only that, Travis Scott, he wore a t-shirt when he was doing that performance of people who go inside this door and then they come out differently when they come out the other side of the door. He was wearing a t-shirt like that. It was like blue, I think some like blue people in this side of the door, and then once it goes in, what comes out is red people. I don't know what that meant.
I would typically break everything down myself, like as far as the symbolism and the Freemasonry and the occultism that is shown in their videos or at their concerts, etc., etc. But the gentleman that I just showed you did a great enough job breaking it down, so I actually didn't have to do that this video, so I hope you all got the message. And then you had the fake Travis Scott apology video. A lot of people forgot about this. Travis Scott would then follow up after a lot of backlash from the concert. He would then make an apology video that was clearly insincere. You watch this and you tell me if this sounded genuine or not to you.
I just want to send out prayers to the ones that was lost last night. We're actually working right now to identify the families so we can help assist them through this tough time. You know, my fans really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience. And anytime I can make out, anything that's going on, I stop the show and, help them get the help they need, I could just never imagine the severity of the situation. We've been working closely with everyone to just try to get to the bottom of this. The City of Houston, HPD, Fire Department, everyone to, help us figure this out. So if you have any information, please just contact your local authorities. Everybody continue to just keep your prayers. I mean, I'm honestly just devastated, and I could never imagine anything like this just happening. And I'm gonna do everything I can to keep you guys updated and just keep you guys informed on what's going on.
Get your attention. Did you hear any of those screams?
Nah, man. And it's so crazy because I'm that artist too. Like, anytime you can hear something like that, you want to stop the show. You want to make sure, fans get the proper attention they need, And anytime I could see anything like that, I did, I stopped it like a couple times to just make sure everybody was okay.
We need somebody to help him. Somebody pass out right here. Somebody pass out right here. Hold on, don't touch him, don't touch him. Everybody just back up. Maybe somebody help jump in real quick. Keep going.
And I just really just go off the, the fans' energy as a collective, call and response. And I just didn't hear that. I got music, I got my in-ears, but I just didn't hear that.
Over the past maybe month and a half, 2 months, really since the inception of this channel, but particularly over the last 2 months, we've been talking about ways that rappers can sell their soul, the way that people can sell their souls, and occultism, symbolism, Freemasonry in the music industry, and how things are not just a coincidence and how these things are intentional. I think this is just another example because they dropped a Netflix series covering this Astroworld situation, which is why we're talking about it and it's relevant again today. If Travis Scott, because he's been trying to make a comeback at least a couple of different times over the past 3 or 4 years, but if Travis Scott ever becomes a huge touring artist again without having to fully answer to what happened in 2021, I think that once again goes to show that the more powerful you are, the more you can hide behind attorneys and your connections and your Freemasonry connections to be able to get away from these things, because I 100% believe that this was intentional. Y'all hop in the comment section, give me your thoughts. Rest in peace to everybody who lost their life from that concert. Pray for everybody mentioned in this video, including myself. I'm Demetrius. I go by DD. That's all for this one. Peace.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.